Hey everybody, in Hypixel there's a kit called the Frog Kit. It provides you with almost full leather armor as well as 3 potions in Insane Mode called Frog's Potions. These Frog's Potions give you speed and jump boost for 20 seconds. And there are many maps where the Frog can be utilized and many maps where I wouldn't recommend going with it. Before I begin and do show you all the strategies, I want to say that if you do enjoy this video, then make sure to give a like and subscribe. But that said, let's go right into what maps to use the Frog on and how to use it on those maps. The Frog Kit is quite unique to Skywars because it introduces an ability that isn't touched upon by any other of the kits, Jump Boost. While speed is provided by the Scout Kit, Jump Boost is an ability that is never mentioned, which is why we have to play the Frog extremely specifically in order to maximize its potential. I'll be now touching upon the key things you need to focus on when using the Frog Kit and how these things will positively impact your gameplay. However, there are only a few maps that actually exploit the Frog's full potential to succeed. These maps will be mentioned later on in the video, but first, let's get straight into some strategies when using the Frog Kit. There are 2 things I think the Frog is great for, and those things are PvP and rushing. The first thing is going to be rushing. While the Frog Kit is somewhat of a not very tanky class, it does provide you with jump boost, and you gotta exploit that and rush whenever you can. Whenever there's a map that can't be accessible by a single jump and requires jump boost, go for it. Unless there's a certain scenario where it would be very non-beneficial to rush, I recommend that you just charge straight in and without grabbing your armor. Best case scenario, return to your island after the rush and pick up the armor there. But that kind of is the basic principle. Go for it whenever you see an opportunity, because the Frog Kit, that's what it's great at, rushing, and that's what it should be used for. The second thing the Frog is great for is PvP. Jump Boost isn't the only thing in these potions, it's speed. And if you combine them, you can easily form really great tactics where you just jump over your enemy and give them no time to react. Of course, even if you're not using a surprise attack, the Frog is still a great kit for just overall strafing around people if you know how to do so. Even more, the Jump Boost makes it easy. There is no challenge when using the Frog to PvP. However, while the Frog Kit is indeed great, there are some maps where I wouldn't recommend and then would never recommend to use the Frog on. I suggest when you encounter these maps, you use a more appropriate kit and refrain from using the Frog as it won't give you an advantage or it just isn't worth it. And these maps I'm going to list. Most of these maps include maps where Jump Boost isn't the only thing you're going to need. You're going to need some blocks. But of course, there are some exceptions. But now I'm going to list the maps that we can straight up eliminate without any debate, where these maps you should never use the Frog. The first F tier for maps is going to be Tribal. Tribal is eliminated because it requires 2 or 3 blocks, depending where you're positioned, to make the jump to middle. Furthermore, there's no really height elevation anywhere in the map, so you're not going to really need to use the Frog Potion whatsoever. The next map is Aegis. I hope I pronounced that right. And while this map does seem pretty good to rush, it actually requires no blocks to make the jump, and I would much rather you use a different kit, such as Enderman or Speleologist even, to rush this map. The jump boost won't give you much, and it won't even help you that much returning to your island because you're going to need to pillar up. For the same reason, Winterhelm is also eliminated. Apart from, once again, making the jump back up from the 2nd middle ring to the 3rd, there is no purpose for you to use the Frog on this map because you can just jump straight to middle, and I'd rather you go with a different kit. Arguably one of the worst maps is Canopy. The reason is, there is no jump. You will not benefit at all from using the Frog Kit on this map. And now I'm going to list the remainder of the maps that aren't awful, but I wouldn't recommend going Frog, because there isn't a very big payout. Usually it's because, once more, you're going to need a few blocks to pillar in to middle. But I wouldn't go Frog on these maps either, although it's alright. These maps include Red Fang, Strata, Shire, Tribute, Dawn, Jagged, Mythos, Long Island, Memorial, and finally Plateau. That leaves 13 maps for us. So, which ones are the best? Well, I'm about to eliminate 8. These 8, however, are really still good maps, and if you ever come across them, the Frog is pretty good. But let's get into the 8 maps that are alright for Frog. These 8 are Railroad, Sentinel, although you have to be very precise with your positioning, Skychurch, although I recommend that you jump on top or at least gather a few blocks, because otherwise the jump becomes slightly unmakeable, but it's still a good map to use the Frog. Toadstool, Siege, although you're going to need a run-up, and for the second jump you're going to be very precise and aim for the castle door, otherwise you won't make it. See? Right in there. Dwarven, Mythic, and finally Hibiscus. The remaining 5 maps are the maps that I've selected that I think are the best for the Frog Kid. I'm going to briefly explain why, but now it's time for the best maps. These are the 5 where you want to use the Frog, if you have it. The first map is Ember Cell. While you can use your potion to rush, you can also use it to have an easy way to middle, as being displayed by me and this guy. All you gotta do is take the straight route to middle, and you should have no problem continuing your heist with all of the nice loot. While Frog can 100% be used to rush on Martian, it should definitely even more so be used to rush middle. By doing so, you have access to all the chests before everyone else, and this is a huge advantage over the other players, because not only you can immediately just stock up on everything, you can also, you know, if you encounter another player, your jump boost just gives you the PvP advantage that you need. Woo! That was close, and you got a KB rod out of it. While none of these maps have a ranking, like there's no number 1, this is probably the worst one. That said, it is still a great map to rush with Frog for 2 reasons. The reason it's bad is because you require 1 or 2 blocks to get to middle, but once you're at middle, you can use your Frog's potion to easily speed up the side of a tower, or if you decide to just, you know, dive bomb down to the very bottom of middle, you can use your potion as a simple escape route to jump up without any problems. This, you know, avoids any weird mishaps on your way up. I won't even bother trying to pronounce the name of this map, it's in the top right, but this map is my least favorite, but it is good if you know the strategy. If you pillar just 2 blocks out, you can actually make it to the turtle's leg, and then use the Frog jump boost, to the lag spike, for just, you know, destroying up. And the reason this is so crucial is because the chests here are so stacked, it's insane. And you can just, well, not die hopefully, but you get the idea. The final great map is Mothership, and not for the reason that you may know. Instead of jumping, what you do is you splash jump boost, and then you just use your jump boost to pillar up by spam clicking as fast as you can. The way Mothership is set up will give you easy access to the top, and if you've done it fast enough, your jump boost will give you enough time to pillar up once more, and then make it into middle with time to spare. This is a quick way to gather your chests, and if you remember your island location, you can even rush back to get the original island chests. But everybody, that about wraps up our guide for the Frog Kit. I hope you have learned something new, or at least found this video somewhat enjoyable. If you have enjoyed at all, then, you know, be sure to give a video a like, and maybe even subscribe if you want more content. But thank you all so much for watching this video. My name is Weezy. Peace.